He knows where we're going to be in a few weeks, few months, few years' time, and he just knows us so intricately, and I just love that about him. And for this Equip Spot, I just wanted to share a little bit of my journey, just a little snippet, and what God's been telling me about trust and obedience. First of all, I just want to break it down by trust. I mean, a giving of ourselves completely. And what that song was talking about, surrender. Completely surrendering ourselves without fear and coming to him and saying, your will, God, your way, and here I am. You died for me, you gave everything for me, and I surrender and I trust you with my whole entire life. And trust is like believing that if we fall, we'll be caught. So if we fall backwards, that somebody behind us is going to catch us. And that takes a lot of trust and belief. And I trust you with my whole entire life. And trust is like believing that if we fall, we'll be caught. So if we fall backwards, that somebody behind us is going to catch us. And that takes a lot of trust and belief. Obedience, I'm not talking about a legalistic obedience, feeling that, okay, we've got to get up in the morning at a certain time and read our Bible for an hour and pray in tongues for 3 hours, or we're not going to be accepted by God and might not make it through the pearly gates. None of that malarkey. I'm talking about radical obedience, about developing our relationship with God so intimately, where we hear that inner voice which goes, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Or that voice that goes, I want you to do this. This is what I'm opening up for you. This is where I want you to go. And it's about being connected to the Holy Spirit. When Jesus died on the cross and he rose again, he said, I'm leaving you my Holy Spirit to guide you, to lead you to what I have for you. And so often we dismiss that. We just carry on with our lives and things happen. Now, radical obedience releases blessing. We see it so much in the Bible with different people in the Bible. As soon as they take that step of obedience, blessings released on their lives. When we're born, we trust. We completely trust our caregiver to meet all our needs. And I doubt we give it a second thought. Don't really know what we think about, but I doubt we give it a second thought. And we start off like that, I think, as Christians. I think that when we're born again, when we give our lives to Jesus, we're so excited and we're like, yeah, God, I trust you with my life. And, and he says, I know the plans I have for you to give you a future and a hope. And that's in Jeremiah. And we're like going on this journey. And then things start happening. Things that maybe we can't foresee. And what it does is it makes us doubt. God, are you there? It makes us lack trust. And that's because fear gets in. I work in social care and I work with families, children, teenagers, adults, mums, dads, who have really, really difficult lives, really struggle in their lives. And it's not because they just can't be bothered. It's because something has happened in their lives, some type of trauma, something that's happened that's kind of made them just stop in their lives and think, I can't do it. I can't do it. I've got to lean on drugs. I've got to lean on alcohol. I've got to lean on this. I can't do it. And so, in my job, we help and try and rebuild these families' lives to kind of get them back on track. And I just wanted to share about I've been a Christian 31 years, and actually when I wrote that down, I thought, wow, oh dear, 31 years, yes. And when I was baptized when I was 16, God gave me, my baptism verse was, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge me in all your ways and I will make your path straight. And that's from Proverbs 3, 5 and 6, I think. And what I've realised now when I look at that verse is that verse doesn't say trust the Lord with all your mind. It doesn't say trust the Lord with what you can see. It doesn't say trust the Lord because of what's happened already. It says, trust the Lord with all your heart about what's in your heart, that connection from your heart to his heart about trusting where he is leading you. And it doesn't say lean on, it says lean not on your own understanding. And our understanding is really limited to what we've experienced. It's limited to what we see. And God tells us not to lean on that. And then he says, acknowledge me in all your ways, surrender, follow me, listen to the still small voice within you, and I will make your path straight. And over the years, thank God I was saved when I was 11. Thank God. Because I needed to be saved when I was 11. And, I had a life of people letting me down. My dad disowned me. And that was my understanding. And what I've realised in the last couple of years as I've started to come back to a more intimate, more trusting relationship with God, and it's really hard at times, is that actually, he has a plan for me, and he has a plan for all of you. And actually what he wants to do is just to say, come here and just trust me. Don't lean on your own understanding. Just acknowledge me in every way, in everything you do. And sometimes that means taking steps that are really scary. Sometimes it means leaving a job and changing to a different job. Sometimes it means changing location. Sometimes it means entering a relationship that just isn't good for you. And I've pretty much done all those things. And, and now I'm in a time of my life where, I felt probably a couple of months ago, I really have nothing, God. Everything's been stripped away. And actually what I've realised in the last couple of weeks is I actually have everything, because what God has done is he's just opened my eyes. He's shown me who he is. And he asked me to, God was really talking to my heart about leaving where I was living. I was living in a village where when I was married, I lived with my husband, and I just kind of was living there in complete isolation and really just perishing because I'd lost my vision. And I took a step and just handed in my notice for my house, handed in my tenancy. And God found me a house in a street where there were 2 families from this church living within 4 weeks. And he's put me in a spacious place where I go down every morning to make a cup of tea, and I look out and there are fields ripe for harvest. And God's saying to me, this is it. This year is a year of transitioning. I really believe that. I follow quite a lot of prophetic stuff. And I really believe this is a year of transitioning. It's a year where he is saying, this is it. No more messing about. That's it. It's all gone in the past. And this is it. I am realigning you. You're back on track. And this is it. You will just see blessing after blessing. And that's not just for me. I hear it all over the place. And he's saying that to everyone. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you, Sarah. That was a really